Hey, everybody, welcome to another live, that's right, live episode of The Grid. My name is Scott Kelby. That's not important because we got two super cool guests today, both photographers, both recently paroled. No, absolutely not. No, anyway, we're going to have a great day today. We have a super show. It is the PlatyPod Superfest. And to my right, now, his name is Larry. I'm going to say this right. We're going to say it only one time so we can say it right. Tiefenbrunn.
Tiefenbrunn. Almost.
Only once. Tiefenbrunn. That's right. Larry Tiefenbrunn. We will not say that again because he specifically has a hard name, which is why. Now, you're a pediatrician. You're a photographer, of course.
Yes.
But you're a pediatrician.
Yes.
You're a good man for being a pediatrician, by the way.
Thank you, Scott.
But your patients call you Dr. T.
Yes.
Because that is the advanced version of Mr. T.
Who
is your idol?
We're closely related. He's a little taller, but
yeah. He's just a little taller, and he's a little tougher, but not much tougher, as pediatricians go. Anyway, we're glad to have you here. You are the guy behind the PlatyPod. So before we go any further, we are going to talk about PlatyPod because Larry's here. We have to. We just have to. But thank you for your support of The Grid. You were super awesome for being our sponsor and being cool. And if you're last week on the show, I said you're going to be on the show this week, and I said, so you're saying, Scott, if you're the sponsor of the show, you get to come on the show? And I said, hell yeah, yes you do. So anyway, glad to have you here. Thank you for your support of the show. And
thank you, Scott.
We have with us Ian Spanier. I said that right?
You got it.
See, you shouldn't, or we just call him Ian T.
Could try that, yeah.
So anyway,
Ian T.
Anyway, but you are Ellie, you're based in Los Angeles.
I am.
And you are a portrait photographer, but you specialize in fitness and celebrities.
Correct.
And you're so freaking good. We're going to talk about your photography, and we're going to talk about, our subject today is building better portraits from the ground up. But part of this is an interesting thing, and this is how we're all tied in together to this, is part of the secret of this is perspective and angle. And so we have some interesting things to go into you with about that today, but that's our topic. But before we get into our topic, we're going to have to say some shout outs because we've got people all over the world checking in, including Twan Brown from Atlanta, which is part of the world, by the way. Jeff May is here from Tarpon Springs. Hi, Jeff. Matt the Wombat Charniski. Where did he come up with where did the wombat come from? He says, oh, hey, everyone. Clinton Ferrara says, hello, Gridsters, and he says something else, but I can't say it yet until I get to that part of the show. So we're gonna wait. Doc Chevalier, the doc is in from Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. Good to have you here, Doc. Good to have you here. Loopy Bridget is here, which is great, from Charlotte, and gosh, everybody's here. Ickle Dot from the UK. I don't know if he lives in London, but he's definitely from the UK. Ickle Dot, good to have you here. Paul's here from Australia. He says, good day from Australia. That was the worst accent we'll do today. I have many others that are bad, but that's probably the worst. Hector's here from PHX. That sounds like what, Philly? PHX is Philadelphia Airport? Come on, you guys.
I never flew to
Phoenix?
I only live an hour away, so I
Phoenix.
never fly to Philly.
Phoenix? All right. Bridget, my favorite part of the year, the Kelly One crew, checking in from the UK. Good to have you here, Bridget. Christine's here. All right, she says, love the PlatyPod. Thank you, Dr. T, for making it.
Thank you so much.
And she's using the right terminology and everything. She just heard it, and she already used it in a phrase. 10 points for Christine.
Absolutely.
All right. Wayne Young says we need a PlatyPod supplier here in Australia. How do they get PlatyPod in Australia?
Send me a PlatyPod supplier, and I'll be happy to talk to them. It's been hard to find.
Yeah, send one. All right. Scott Bourne, there we are.
Hey, Scott. Nice to hear from you.
All right, good to see Scott. Scott says PlatyPod rocks, couldn't live without it. All right, so thank you very much. All right.
Scott's a good friend.
All right, so Christopher says, dun, dun, dun. I had a minor problem with my PlatyPod Pro Max, and I emailed the company for advice. Dr. T answered my email personally and immediately handled my problem above and beyond my expectations. Amazing company, outstanding customer service. Thanks, Larry. Great to see you. Drop the mic.
Thank you, Christopher. Appreciate it. I can go home now. That's it. Show's over.
Drop the mic. That's it. Well, your fans are here.
Well, thank you.
So now
Thank you, fans.
The rest of the show has to be making sure that Ian gets more fans because Ian is amazing, but he doesn't have a cool product.
I don't pity anybody either.
His product is actually making photos, right? But you're a photographer, Larry.
Yes, I am.
We're going to look at some of your photos later, too, aren't we?
I hope so.
We're doing a non-blind critique of Larry's photos on the show a little bit later. I have not seen them. That's how blind they are. I have not seen them. And we're going to look at some of Ian's work, of course, too, as well. And we're going to talk about it. We are taking your questions. Now, your questions can be anything from portrait photography. It can be anything about the PlatyPod. Larry's here. He wants to answer your question. And Bob from Oz says, Larry, to check out Digital Camera Warehouse as a potential distributor in Australia.
All right.
Right. You know what?
Make a note of that.
We actually have a lot of helpful viewers. Like, our viewers like helping each other. You know that when the show ends, this is weird, that when the show ends, they stay on in the chat.
Well, Scott, isn't that what photographers do? We help each other. That's
we help each other. We hang out. So Jock's photos. So Jock, if I remember right, is out of Hawaii, and he says, I love taking the PlatyPod Max on hikes to waterfalls. He says the tripod gets bulky sometimes. It does.
Yes.
So I was talking, so listen to this. Want to hear my sad story of the week? So I got invited to be on an aircraft carrier for 3 days, and I can't go. I just couldn't make it. I've been on a carrier before. I was on the George H.W. Bush nuclear-powered carrier for 2 days, but I got a chance to go for 3, and I couldn't make it. And you know what I thought? The very first thing, because now they've been on a carrier and I know what to expect, the very first thing I thought was, I'm going to take my PlatyPod, I'm going to go to the end of the runway, I'm going to mount cameras in both directions, and I had it all planned out until I could not make it fit in my schedule. But that was the first thing. It would be perfect. It's perfect for taking anywhere you could not get away with it. You could not put a tripod on the end of the deck. Number one, your tripod would be in the ocean.
That's true.
In a second. It'd be like, bye, sweet camera gear. Goodbye forever. Anyway, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But some things did work out, and I'm going to talk to you like you care. Ian, but hey, I'm going to Norway, right?
Oh,
so
that's good.
yeah, I'm taking a family trip to Norway. That'll be nice. Do a little landscapey and travel-y stuff. So, oh, whoa, Sandri, hello, hi from Norway. Just came back from Rome. I did eat at Mimi a Coco. Thanks for the advice. Is that an awesome restaurant? It's the best restaurant in Rome, Mimi a Coco. Anyway, I'm coming to Norway. Where should I go? Like, I just booked the tickets, all right? So it's like a family trip to Norway, and I think we're going to the island of, or the region of Loftoften? Come on, you know Norway.
I watch Vikings, but I don't know Norway.
Oh, okay, it's a place. Anyway, but let's see what else we got going. Real quickly, now you do your own retouching and stuff, right? You do for your images, which is like, makes me sick because his retouching is really good. Were you using the Nick collection at all?
No.
No? Okay. How about you?
A Nick addict for years.
You were a Nick addict,
oh,
right?
yes.
We're all
Yes, I'm mourning it.
We're switching. You switched over to Luminar, right?
You said switch over to Luminar. I tried it out.
What
I
do you
listened to the tutorials. It's pretty amazing.
I got a class coming out in like, I think 2 weeks.
If you like Nick's FX Pro, you'll like Luminar.
That was the main thing. It doesn't replace the Silver Effects.
Or Viveza. I don't know if you ever used Viveza.
Yeah, but you know what? Viveza, I thought a lot of the things in Viveza wound up in Nick Color Effects Pro. Viveza was really great for making selections, but like the structure and stuff was already kind of in. I used it and I abandoned it. So losing Viveza doesn't bother me. But anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is because if you are, like Larry and I, Color Effects Pro users, I did a decoder on lightroomkillertips.com. So I think on Monday, I basically said if you use this in Nick Color Effects Pro, the same thing is called this in Luminar. And I went right down the list of all my favorite things, maybe I like 13 or 14 of my favorite filters, and I said if you use this, use that, use it. And in some cases they're better, in some cases they're close, and in one you have to use 2 filters to get, because Pro Contrast, did you ever use that?
Pro Contrast is my #1 go-to filter. And so what replaces Pro Contrast, Scott?
Advanced Contrast plus I can't remember, structure.
And can you make that into a preset?
Yes, you can, Larry, and in my class that you will see in 2 weeks, I actually show you the settings.
Great, I'm looking forward to that class.
Here's how to get regular, like they had 4 presets, normal, and then they had auto enhance, dramatic, and one more. Auto enhance, dramatic, and something else. I show you the settings for all of them. You know why? Because I care. All right, anyway, yes, that's coming up. Gosh, now, you know, every week since you kicked off your new PlatyPod Ultra, we have been looking at your Kickstarter campaign. You were trying to raise $20,000 to create the Ultra. Can we see an Ultra? You got an Ultra here?
I do have an Ultra here.
So you wanted to raise $20,000. Now this is a prototype. This is not the real thing.
But this is exactly what the
Exactly
real
the
thing
same,
looks like,
yeah.
okay? Because this prototype passed the muster of many photographers. You get the Ultra, you get a strap, and inside the box we get these little spikes in a wallet and a little carabiner to carry everything. And basically you just take all that, you put it all together, and you clip it onto your belt or onto a purse or a backpack, and you've got
an eagle.
You've got tripod legs wherever you go, and you can just stick a little ball head on it. This is one, Scott, you've been talking about this one.
The Oben.
The Oben. The B&H actually is going to be bundling this once it comes out on the open market. That'll probably be in August, about a month after Kickstarter's over. You just stick a little camera on it, and you've got a tripod wherever you go, and in places that they won't normally allow you to use tripods. I mean, you ever try going to the Smithsonian Museum with a tripod?
Larry, you go anywhere today with a tripod. Do you know that I was stopped on the street, on just the street in Washington, D.C.? I'm on the street, on a sidewalk, by myself, nobody around there. Cops were on me in 2 seconds.
Didn't you have a story once about the Burj in Dubai with a tripod?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what, if it's different when you're overseas and you get in trouble with a tripod. It's just like, I'm in the Mideast and I'm getting in trouble with a tripod.
They have guns there.
I've never seen anyone collapse a tripod faster in their life.
But so far, nobody's been stopped for a PlatyPod. And we've had, you know my friend Rich Harrington?
Yeah, of course.
Rich went through the entire Smithsonian Air and Space Museum with platypods. They looked at him, but nobody stopped him.
We actually shot the advertising campaign in an area that specifically says do not use tripods anywhere around here. And
That's not a tripod.
That's what I said.
It's a platypod.
Well, it can be a tripod, technically, because we've had a lot of naysayers say, oh, this is not actually a tripod. It can be a tripod because it comes with these little spikes.
You can just use 3 of them.
And if you use just 3 of them, it's a tripod. And why do we have spikes? Scott, you know why we have the spikes?
So you can put it on rocks, Larry.
That's it. Rocks, concrete. Otherwise,
I feel like an expert on this.
You're an expert on a lot of things.
Hey, but Larry, I was going to bring this all the way back around to our important thing.
Good.
You put it on Kickstarter. You said you put a limit. If I don't raise 20,000, we're not going to do it.
Right.
And here it is. It's not even over yet. The Kickstarter period is over. What are we at? 139,000.
We're at about 600% of the.
You like the way you say "we" like I have anything to do with it? I don't get any money. I don't get it. If you sell a million of them.
Scott, actually, you do have something to do with it. You, and I have to thank a lot of professional photographers, Ian, fellows like Scott Bourne, Rich Harrington, Levi Sim, Shiv Verma from up in New England, who really helped to develop the platypod, because when we started out with this, we started out with in a plastic version. My son is actually a teacher who teaches technology, and he had one of these printed out on one of those 3D printers.
Oh, yeah?
So we sent this out to some photographers, and they made some comments. We made some adjustments. We listened to people, and that was the main thing about the development of this. We listened to photographers. Then we produced the pre-production models, sent them out again, and when everyone said, you got it, don't change. And I think you were one person I spoke to on the phone who said, Larry, I don't have anything to add.
What
over
else can you add?
That's it. That's when we decided we're going to go forward.
But here's the sad thing about it. Can I just say, so you know we do giveaways, right? So we are going to give away a PlatyPod Max, the big boy right here. We're going to give away one of these to somebody today. But of course, this is the one that you've raised like $130-something thousand for, 600% of what you were trying to get. But these aren't made yet, so there's no way someone could win this. Or is there? Dun, dun, dun. Larry said we could give away a full working, it'll be the same as the shipping thing.
Right.
We're going to give away, this is the first time we've ever actually given away the thing that we've been talking about for a month now. Larry said today, because you hardly have any of these.
Well, we do. I do have to say we have a special offer going on. In fact, there's not many left. If people want to look now on Kickstarter, we ordered about 500 units for early delivery.
Right.
So if they go today or tomorrow and get it before those run out, they can have this by the end of the month. We have 500 units that are actually just come into port and will be ready on time throughout the last week of June.
And these are manufactured in Cleveland, Ohio?
No, they are designed in the United States.
Oh, okay.
They are manufactured by a wonderful a company out in China that helped us out.
Wait a minute, camera gear made in China? That's unheard of.
Oh my goodness.
Is there anything made
Where's
in the
this
United
thing
States?
made?
Oben, China. Where's my laptop?
How about
made?
that Sony
China.
piece over there?
All right. Anyway, but the important thing is, Larry, that even though if you buy into it, you'll have to wait till the end of the month. We're going to give one away to somebody today for the first time. How excited are we, Ian?
Pretty damn excited.
Pretty damn excited. Yes, we are, and that's first time anyone's ever cussed on the show.
They will be
Ian.
the first. They will be the first.
Very
people to
embarrassing.
actually get.
All right. Do they
that.
get the multi-pack with it?
And if they request that, they can get the multi-pack with it.
What about our giveaway, though, Larry?
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Yes, we're going to
Yes.
give away the
Yes.
multi-pack. All right. We're going to take a break, but before we do, you're going to tell us what's in the multi-pack, because today's prize is pretty darn good.
This is what's in the multi-pack.
It's just a red bag.
All right. First, it's a little sack that'll hold your PlatyPod Ultra, plus 4 other items which we hope people will find very helpful.
A small bag of pot.
Number 1.
See, I
It's
cursed,
got-
and now you're going all crazy.
It's got a now, by the way, this multi-set will work both for Ultra and for Max. It's got a 36-inch strap, so if you come over to a telephone pole or a medium-sized tree, you can actually take either Max or Ultra and strap it onto the tree. And think of all the different things. What do you think you could use that for, Scott?
Goalpost.
That's it. And you can use it for your camera. You can use it for lighting. If you want to take a really nice selfie, not just the one that looks like that, you can use it for that. So that's one thing that comes in the multi-accessory set.
36-inch strap. Some lucky person
Second
will be able
piece.
to strap
Who
it
knows
on.
what this is?
That's lipstick, Larry.
That's not exactly lipstick. This is a spigot adapter, and what it does, in fact, let's show this on Max here, because this is something I think people will find amazing, especially for wedding photographers. You know how some wedding photographers, I think David Zeiser was one of the people who came up with this technique, take a monolight and you stick it on this little lighting attachment. You
Well, we
put
put
it
a-
here behind the bride.
Can you put a flash on
and
that?
You get a rim. You can put any flash.
I put a
But you could put
B1
a
on
heavy
that.
You
duty.
put a B1 on that?
Absolutely.
You could put a heavy-duty monolight on this. And Scott, feel how rugged that is, how rigid that is.
Yeah.
Okay. And you put it behind the bride. You got a beautiful rim light that you can
Yeah,
light
put a
up
big old
with.
freaking B1 behind her.
That's it.
Big giant.
What'd you say before?
comes
Go
in
big
with
or go home, right?
multi-accessory.
Go big or go home. Put a big giant light back there.
Okay, well, another thing that we have here, let's say you have a tripod head, because these are made, there's a titanium bolt in here that will hold your tripod head, and any professional tripod head will fit on this 3/8 inch bolt. But let's say you have a 1/4 inch device that you want to put on, so there's a little riser that sticks on, that goes onto here, and it'll allow you to adapt to the 1/4 inch bolt. It will also raise up your tripod head a little bit, because there are some tripod heads that have these little wing nut levers on
Yeah,
them.
like the really right stuff that have the.
Well, really right stuff will work. Manfrotto had some, the Be Free series.
Yeah.
They would knock into the plate. With this, you're not going to have that happen. So this will make the system usable with just about any tripod head on the market. And the last thing,
And last but not least, do you feel like you stopped by Larry's booth at a trade show?
But there's more,
I
Scott.
do.
Please say it. But there's more.
But there's
But
more.
there's
Tell
more.
us, Larry, please. I'm begging you.
All right. We have here a little silicone rubber pad that's usable both for Max or for the Ultra. Here, you can see how Max fits on that. So let's say you just want to slap this on your car roof so you can take a nice picture of the family. You can do that. If you want to put it on a basketball court, because think about it, Scott, if we put the rubber feet on the basketball court with these spikes sticking out and a player stepped on that, that would not be very healthy. So you can just slap that right down on a basketball court and it will not budge at all. And if it gets a little dusty, you just wash it with soap and water. In fact, everything that we make is rust-free. We use aircraft-grade aluminum, we use titanium, we use stainless steel. Nothing here will rust. You can just wash it with soap and water. And Scott, one last question. What do you think? What do you think that costs for the multi-set?
I don't know, Larry. I'd pay, what, Ian, $200, $300 for an accessory like that?
Easily $500.
All right.
Easily.
So the multi-accessory set is not yet available for purchase alone, but it will be around August 1st.
If you win today.
And that'll be $29 for that.
That's a deal.
That's crazy,
In fact, I think this
Larry.
piece alone from another manufacturer runs around $30. So I think
That's
we tried to
ridiculous.
make it affordable. That's
Nobody can sell it for $29. Operators are standing by. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. I think we need a break. I know you need a break.
Oh, I need a break.
When we come back, we're going to talk about portrait photography. We're going to look at some of Ian's work. We're going to look at some of your work a little later, Larry. And we're probably going to mention the word PlatyPod again sometime in this show. Because, you know, I got to spend some time with Larry today, and I realized that Larry uses a PlatyPod for every single thing in his life. He uses it to hold his toothbrush. He uses it to watch television. He uses it as a food additive. So we may hear it. We may hear it again.
And it's kosher.
And it's kosher, which is nice. All right. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're here with Ian and Dr. T. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We're live on the grid. This is going to be a while.
When you need a tripod that is compact, that is portable enough to take with you anywhere, one that is adaptable to any situation, that will prove versatile enough for any shoot, and is compatible with your other gear, giving you freedom to create your own perspective. Look no further. PlatyPod Ultra does it all. PlatyPod Ultra, now on Kickstarter.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Rob Foldy, and welcome to my class, How to Make the Pee-wees Look Like the Pros. So we're going to go over how to get the most from your camera settings, how to clean up your background, shoot from different perspectives, how different lenses are going to help out the look of a photo, how shooting with a long telephoto versus a wide lens is going to affect the photo. We even do some shooting with an iPhone in this class. So this class is definitely geared towards everybody. Whether you're a sports photographer or not, these are some great quick tips that are going to take any of your photos right to the next level. Follow along. It's available exclusively on KelbyOne.com.
Thank you. Hey, we are back. Scott Kelby here with Ian and Larry, also known as Dr. T, also known as Larry, the PlatyPod guy. You remember him from the comedy tour. Anyway, hey, Clinton Ferrara says, hello, Gridsters. And the reason why I'm mentioning Clinton again, because we mentioned him earlier, was we have a new class coming out today. It actually went out today. It's supposedly come out Thursday is new class day. But the class that is coming out is from Calibra, and the class is called You Took That With Your iPhone? And basically, you know, she runs that blog, shotwithmytrustyiphone.com, and the people on that blog kept going, when are you going to do a class? When are you do a class? She did a class, and I got to see quite a bit of it. I sat in the control room numerous times, and Larry Becker joined her as her guest. It is a lights-out class, and here's the first person that watched it. It was on screen just a moment ago. And Clinton says, hello, Gridsters. Watch Calibra's class this morning. Learned so much. So great to hear that. It's the first person that's got to watch the class. So although tomorrow is officially new class day, it's out now. Got lots of stuff. Oh, somebody wants to start a drinking game. Oh, go down.
PlatyPod drinking game.
All right, I want to use a PlatyPod. Wait, where was it? There it was. Loopy Bridget says, new drinking game. Every time they say PlatyPod, we take a drink.
Do you think she became Loopy Bridget before she posted that, or?
No, she was just Bridget until this episode.
Just became Loopy.
And we've got a bunch of PlatyPod comments, but I want to talk to Ian for just a moment. Because I know we have some of Ian's images queued up. Can we take a look? Do we have those there, Mayor? So these are images he stole from me. These ideas all stolen from me. Mm-hmm. No, he's like at a whole crazy different level. So you shoot fitness, and you shoot a lot of celebrities there. I saw some on your website, like The Rock. Oh, speaking of The Rock.
Speaking of him.
There he is. I'm kind of built like that. You can't tell because of the coat.
Greg Louganis.
Greg Louganis.
Yeah. That's part of my personal series called Right Next Door, which is interesting people that live all around us, and you have no idea how interesting they actually are.
Wow.
You can actually see all those, as well as the stories on Huffington Post. I have my own blog there, which is where all those stories.
You have your own blog at Huffington Post?
I do.
And what's that one called, Scott?
That's Nuzzling a Horse? Is that Nuzzling a Horse? That's a cool shot. Can we go back to that? So this is kind of what we're talking about today when we're talking about building better portraits from the ground up. This is obviously shot from a very low perspective.
Yes.
You spend a lot of time like down low.
Well, I have this distinct advantage above you two in that I start lower because I'm shorter than both of you, and I've always been there. Can't do anything about it.
No, we're on video. You can't tell.
Oh, I look taller. Yes, that's right. Yes.
He's very tall in person.
I always kind of tell people I'm vertically challenged, so I kind of had that going on long before I knew Larry. But there's a big joke, and I told Larry this the first time I met him, that I pretty much end up on my stomach on pretty much every shoot. And it's a joke amongst my assistants. They just know that I'm going to always be on my belly at some point during the day.
Okay, and why are you down so low?
Because I think it's very important to take pictures from a perspective that maybe not everybody else is seeing it. And I think that that's kind of what we talked about earlier. God has spoken. He agrees with me or he disagrees.
He's powerful.
I don't know if you guys heard that crack of thunder that just came through here.
Either
Wow.
I'm doing something very right or very wrong.
Yeah, that was either good or very bad.
Did Juan do that?
That's no,
Special effects, right?
Juan has many powers. Calling thunder from the sky is where he draws the line. But I'm glad you said that, Ian, because when people say, how do we take better portraits? One of the first things I tell them is every amateur photographer is going to be standing there at eye level. Watch anybody new with a camera. They're gonna shoot every single thing standing directly in front of their subject at eye level. And I say it's one of the easiest things that you can do to create more depth and drama and just interest in your photos is to stinking change your perspective. Stop shooting everything. And that's what, can we go bring that horse picture back? Now, I don't know how low you were, but you can actually see the blades of grass in the shot.
Oh, I was in the grass.
You were
for
in
sure.
the grass.
Yeah, with bugs crawling all over me, and
Oh,
it was about as hot as it is outside right now.
Oh, really?
On that day, yeah. We actually went through 4 horses because we couldn't get their ears forward. Do you know that's a thing with horses?
I didn't know that's a thing.
You always want them photographed with their ears forward.
I did not know that.
Learned it that day.
I've taken like one shot of horses, just like one, like in the morning, really early.
They always say don't shoot kids, pets, or those kind of things. But
Now, what is
are you
the
gonna do?
story here in this? I mean, it's a very beautiful shot.
Thank you.
Obviously.
Well, Molly Ash is a professional show jumper, and this was for a show jumping magazine at the time that was out. And basically, we were just doing a profile on her and her specialty in the sport, basically. So we were at the facility which she keeps her horses and trains, and we kind of had found this little field, and I just had the idea to kind of have her down really intimate with the horses, because the typical shots you'd see are her holding the horse's head,
You see that every time,
standing
like
in
The
that barn,
Godfather,
something like that. Exactly. Well,
Oh no,
hopefully
it's
not that one,
different shot.
but one thing I would definitely say is that our job as photographers is to tell a story, and part of telling a story is to come up with a way of telling it that's unique. And if we're going to do that thing where we all stand and look at everything from the same perspective, everybody else always sees it, then that's not really telling much of a story.
I agree, and I think that is a huge key thing. Hey, by the way, I'm not trying to take away from what you're saying, but
Sure.
I'm going to. No, it's because of what you just said. You're talking about how a picture is supposed to tell a story. My guest blogger today is Rob Foldy. Now, you just saw Rob talking about a moment ago about his kids' sports photography class. Rob is my guest blogger today at scottkelby.com, and his whole article is about telling the story. And it's great. He shows pictures and tells the story. It's terrific. I don't know if we can bring it up real quick, but he basically just did what you just did. Shows the thing and shows the story. And his captions are so good. Like he shows this great shot of a picture in the dugout, and he's all alone in the dugout, this is taken in game. And when you read the story, that's Rob right there. So he's editing he's the team photographer for the Marlins. And then go down a little bit further and you'll see the picture. There it is, that one right there. Now it looks like sad or something. It's really, you got to read it, because it's not a sad, it's actually a wonderful moment.
It's thoughtful, it's moody.
It is thoughtful and moody, but when you hear what it is, you're like, whoa, it's very interesting.
Well, that's the beauty of photography in itself, is that you can make up your own story. So what you take from it might be different from what actually happened that day. And for a photographer who have to explain why a picture is good, they failed.
You're right. If you have to go, or if you have to say, well, that's pretty, what is it? Uh-oh. Dun, dun,
Right.
dun. But it's a fascinating story. It's different than what it looks like.
Yeah.
But anyway, can we look at a few more of Ian's pictures, if you don't mind? And thank you for bringing that up, by the way. All right, let's keep rolling, because there's some good ones that came up that we didn't get to really talk about. That's beautiful. How did you take this?
This is a situation I actually wish I had a PlatyPod, because this was not a planned image that we were going to do for the day. We was doing a shoot for Danskin, the clothing company that makes a lot of ballet and dance wear. And we kind of decided that the straight up picture of this had been done before. And we've all seen the picture of the girls at the bar and all that. So
drinking.
We made this very unsafe rig with the camera above. And I actually didn't have a way to even fire it properly, so we had the computer on the ladder, and I was firing it from the computer. It was really bad, but it worked, obviously. If I had a PlatyPod, I probably would have strapped it to a pole and raised it up and been done.
You know, I don't want to say the word that makes you drink, but if I had that metal plate, metal plate thing. So I did a whole book called Light a Shoot or Retouch It, and all of each technique, I did a shot from up above. Well, we went to New York City and we rented this really cool place to shoot. And for us to be able to get a shot above, we had to go and rent a rig. We had to go to a Hollywood, like a place that rents. It was almost a crane, but it was the biggest light stand you've ever seen.
Huge boom, yeah.
We had to carry it. It went like through the car and out into the street. I don't know how we didn't get arrested. It had to go up like 16 feet and over. If we'd have had that metal black plate thing back then.
PlatyPod?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't realize we were drinking.
We're going to try to keep from being totally hammered.
Loopy.
That would have made all the difference in the world. Let's bring up some more images. I love that image, by the way. I love that.
Thank you.
I love that image, because you're right. It's the image you don't see all the time.
Yep.
That was really. Now, can I ask you a question? You got to be honest.
Yes.
Was it your idea or the art director?
It was a combined effort. How can we do this different?
I'll take that. That's definitely different. I love it. And you pulled it off. I don't care if you said it was 100% their idea. You pulled it off. It's beautifully done.
Thank you.
And the angle and the position of everybody's is really nice.
Sometimes that's dumb luck, but you know.
Hey, dude, can I tell you something? How I feel about luck is photography. How many times, and you're a commercial photographer, you're shooting all the time, how many times have things gone totally wrong? It rained the day you were supposed to do an outdoor shoot, or you get there and the camera breaks, or the light breaks, or the person can't show up, or one of the million things that happens. It's not getting lucky, Ian. It's getting even. You're finally kind of, like, for all the crazy things that have gone wrong, all of a sudden something went right.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's not luck. It's getting even.
Are you a glass half empty or a glass half full kind of guy?
I am a half full. No, I'm not a glass half full. I'm like, my glass is always pouring over. I'm very, very optimistic, happy person.
Your glass looks almost empty. I think we said PlatyPod.
The glass may be empty, but to me, I think it's full. I think it's packed. All right, we have a bunch of questions about other stuff, and we're going to get to those. But can we look at some more of them? I could look at your images all day. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Look at, you know what? Now, there's a theme I'm noticing here, except for that one. All these are taken from a low perspective. That one included.
Vertically challenged. It starts off from there.
Oh, very funny. No, but I mean, all of these images, look at these. They're all taken from a low perspective, except for that one.
Well, now that actually is a low perspective.
No, that is. You're at their eye level.
I'm
for people
actually
sitting.
Off the edge of the pool.
Are you?
Off near a cliff to get
all right,
that
now
image.
You have to answer this. Were you naked? Come on, tell us.
No,
yes, you were.
I don't do that.
See, I'm always naked.
I keep it clean.
Always. Here we go.
Scott, can I ask you a question as a pediatrician?
Of course.
Do you remember your early memories as a child, how everything just looked so big? When you go back to an early place you may have lived, or people that you knew when you were a kid, they all got smaller. But the reason they looked so big was for a very simple reason, which we're illustrating here, and that is you were looking from a low angle. And when you want to make your subject look bold, this is what Ian really excels at beautifully. He gets just the right angle
I think it's because
to make the impression that he tells the story he wants to tell.
Possibly.
I think it's luck, Ian. I think there's a lot of luck.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I just saw a lot of lucky pictures in a row.
I always say I'm
Look at this
a
luck.
monkey who pushes a button.
Lucky shot.
Yes.
So you're driving by in your car and you see this guy. You pull off the road and you say, "Excuse me, can you hold that pose?"
You have
What was
nice
he
hair.
hanging
Can
off
you
of?
pose for this?
Hey, here's another overhead. I love these.
Well, that was the same client, and once they saw us do it once, of course they wanted us to do it
Of
again.
course.
You know
I
how
love
that
that.
goes. That's actually Bubble Boy from Seinfeld.
That's Bubble Boy?
That is Bubble Boy.
Grown up. Oh, I love, what a great episode.
You know, it's a fantastic story. They couldn't find a 14-year-old that had enough crass to play the part of Bubble Boy, and he was a writer for the show, and Larry Charles turned to him and said, "You're enough of a bleep that you could play Bubble Boy," but because of his age, they couldn't show him, so that's why the only reason you see his arm.
Wow. Okay, Seinfeld trivia time. This is open to you, Larry,
Oh, boy.
or you, Ian. In the Bubble Boy episode,
The Moops.
no,
Ah. I was trying to get in early.
no, this is harder than that. Who did the Bubble Boy's father work for?
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Dude, come on, you got to play at a pro level.
I honestly don't know that one.
He introduced himself at the diner to Jerry and said what he did, and Jerry commented back about what he did.
I'm at a loss. I'm at a total
And
loss.
You had Moob.
Moops, the Moops.
The Moops. I'm sorry.
I got
it's
stuck on
the
Poppy
Moors.
Pete, sorry.
What
He
is it?
drove for Yoo-Hoo. He was a Yoo-Hoo truck driver.
Oh, my
For
God.
Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink.
That escaped me. I don't know how I didn't know that one.
I kill at Seinfeld trivia. I absolutely. Can I tell you how many blog posts have been written in my life with Seinfeld on in the background? Just a ton. Let me tell you.
Ian, watch
Well,
out.
now are you jealous
He's
that
a
I met the
hustler on
real
this
Bubble
one.
Boy?
A little bit.
All right.
All right. Can we see a
That
couple
was
more
luck.
images? Come on.
I was paired with him
All right,
playing
because
golf.
this is some good stuff because
Cool, thanks.
this is really our topic today, and so I kind of want to go back. I want to take a look at this. There you are down low again.
Now, this one actually was with a PlatyPod, and I had.
That was with a PlatyPod?
That was. I
hold on.
wasn't.
Let me take a
Oh,
sip.
sorry. My bad.
Cheers.
I wasn't
Cheers.
quite low enough, so I actually had it on top of two 45-pound plates in order to get to the height that I wanted to be at. But I can tell you right now that a tripod would have had issues getting exactly to that height unless you had a low column, and then I would have to change it out. So what's faster, just throwing the camera onto a PlatyPod or
No.
breaking out the low column and changing out the regular column and all that kind of stuff? So,
Very nice. That's beautiful.
thanks. Same day, we obviously nailed a bunch of shots that day.
Wow, you did.
With Danskin.
Can I risk another drink, Scott, from what Ian?
Could I stop you, Larry?
Yeah, I doubt it. I
All
doubt
right.
it.
Okay.
These little two holes here, you know what that's for?
One is for mounting on top of a tripod.
That's exactly right. So if you want to store this, exactly what Ian was talking about, instead of flipping the center column, you could put this on your tripod. You can then mount your tripod head on there, and then when you're ready for a low shot, just take the whole rig, spin it off, put it on the ground, and proceed from there. This wasn't my idea. This was an idea from the customers that approached us at Photoshop World and other trade shows and said, I'd like to be able to mount this on top of other things too. So there you go.
There you go. So Ian, we've got so many questions here that we just have to go through. So let's just start at this top. If it is one for you, Larry, just jump in. If it's one for you, Ian, if it's one for me, I'll just ignore it. Here we go. John says, use my PlatyPod at a local Japanese garden where tripods aren't allowed. Got some awesome long exposure shots. Nobody ever stops a PlatyPod because nobody even knows what it is. They're like,
It's unstoppable.
oh, that can't be anything. Well, it looks very small and easy. And no, it does. What threat is this? It's not. It's just.
Does everyone know why John needed that long exposure shot? Why do you need a long exposure shot of a static item like a bonsai tree? It's if you're close up to it and you want to get a really good depth of field, you gotta stop down your
Was he doing like
aperture.
focus stacking or something?
You could do focus stacking with it too, but you need something that'll hold it in place. It's very hard to do that. Almost impossible to do a focus stacking handheld.
It is. All right, let's go. You're absolutely right. Okay. Miklos is just saying hi from Budapest. Addix is here from Sierra Leone. Anchor is saying hi from a yellow cab in New York City. Hey, Anchor, can I say something? Clean up your cab. I've never been in a cab in New York City that was clean. clean it up. I don't know what yours is, but I'm going to bet you could probably go in the back seat, just kind of straighten up a little bit. Just kidding. Glad to have you here. Azedin is here from Qatar. Glad to have you here. Shay says, love the PlatyPod Mac. Dude, this is like the
It's a love fest.
are these for family members?
No, I sent out checks to everybody in the neighborhood and asked them to write
That's
in here.
very nice.
Can I give a shout out to somebody who's right here in our audience?
Yes, you may.
We have the guy who did
the man
who did the PlatyPod videos, David Day of Wizard Beer
David.
Production. Hey, David, thank you very much. You did an amazing job.
He did a great job on those.
And also my wife, hi, honey, and my son, Morty, who said, please give me a shout out, Dad. Hey, Morty.
Shout out to Morty.
That's it.
All righty, there we go. And can we just because you mentioned your family, let's take a drink.
All right. Whoop, l'chaim.
Because his actual last name is Platypod. All right, Oldwin says, when is the Platypod Ultra shipping?
You can
end of the month if you go right now, right? To go to the Kickstarter, get in by the end of the month.
And you sign in for early delivery.
But if you don't get early delivery, you were talking August?
We're still going to have it. We're promising for July, and we will deliver on time. I take that very, very seriously. It is going to be here.
He does. He takes everything very seriously, except for medicine, which is weird.
No.
He's very casual about it. You'll be fine.
Sadly, I'm taking you seriously right now, Scott.
No, I'm totally kidding. All right, Loopy says, I love how Dr. T is so passionate about his product. I love it. Well, you know what it is? I think when you create something that actually has real value, and like you see, I love fixing a problem. We have a problem, not just in America, in the world today. We have many problems with tripods. It has stopped so many people from being able to shoot things they want to shoot. And then you also solve the second problem is there's just places that you can't put a tripod if they allowed you to put one. Right? So you made something that's really cool, and you've gotten to the point where he sent me this. Larry sent this and said, what do you think? What can I do different? And I'm like, I cannot even imagine. Like this must be the end of the line for these, because I cannot imagine what you could add to one of these. I mean, it's like you put your heart in this, you know. And you've seen the random responses that we're getting here. And look, Peter Holman says, I like my PlatyPod Pro, but that one looks pretty sweet.
Oh yeah,
right?
You need them both. Yeah,
you need them both.
We actually have the original Pro here, just so you can see, you know, how we listened to our customers.
Yeah,
this is the original one. Okay, very simple, very plain. We listened to the customers. We put about 8 different new features into the new one. Really, we wanted to satisfy everybody. And you know, Scott, there's something here that I think you've illustrated over the years, and that I've taken into this too. And that is, when you're doing something that you love, you're going to do it well. Yep. You love Photoshop, you love teaching, you love photography.
I love Ian.
And you do it well. This is a love fest.
Fist on that one. Thanks.
Okay. So I think that makes a big difference. You do something you're passionate about, you're going to do it well.
Yeah, and you know what? You just keep wanting to make it better and better, and that's proven by what you've done here. Hey, so, all right. So Tom S. asked a question. What if you need it at eye level? Well, I think you just answered that by
we did. You put it on the tripod.
You put it on things. You know what's great about this? If you try to take a mini tripod and put it on a railing. I went to one museum. I'm not going to mention which one for special reasons, but there was a 2-inch wide stainless steel railing throughout the museum. You try to put a 3-legged tripod on there, it's not going to sit on the railing. This'll sit flat on the railing, and now if you're worried about walking away from it and having somebody knock it over, we include the strap it around the railing. It's secure. You could walk 20 feet away and take a selfie, you know, put on the timer, take a selfie of your family, with your family, sorry. And, you know, it works. It just plain works.
Okay.
You know,
all right.
One of the things that we haven't mentioned yet is that it fits in small spaces too. So in a situation where you need to put a camera, say, against a rock cliff wall or anything like that, you can actually put it on the rock cliff and not have to be behind the camera and still get your shot.
Ian, you cannot imagine how many times I need to put my tripod on a rock cliff wall. It's just, it's crazy. So. Hey, real quickly, there's just so many more questions. Doc Chevalier, we always read Docs. Doc and Johan always get their questions read. Doc says, love mine for waterfall long exposure. It sits nice and low and super stable. So that's $20 to Doc. Write that down. 20
okay.
Anybody that says a nice comment. Melanie says, I am watching the grid from my, oh, now this is Melanie Kern Favilla. She is the winner of our new gallery competition. So she will have a gallery showing in our gallery here, and she is she's on a storm chasing vacation. So she's an awesome photographer. Loopy says, now she's called Loopy Spring. She says, I'm so excited to get my Kickstarter package with both the Ultra and Max. I cannot wait. I need to get that ball head though. So hey, I'm gonna make a couple of recommendations. This one's good, the Oben. That was the first one I started using, and I have an Oben, and I love it. Also, I've tried it with the three-legged thing Airhead tripod, and it's also a small, inexpensive tripod. Really, really nice. Hey,
Scott, you want to do something amazing that you could use?
I'm saving it for the break.
Go
I
ahead.
want to save. That was my big reveal.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna answer Chris Wiley's question in a visual. Dun dun dun. Don't go away. Ian's here. Larry's here, and don't go away. We'll be right back. False alarm.
I'm Amanda Powell, and I'm a wedding photographer out of Sarasota, Florida. One thing that captured my attention when I first discovered Kelby One's website was the array of professionals that they use to teach the photography. Each individual class was extremely organized. It was from start to finish. I feel comfortable with the photographers that they support. For me, it's a relationship. You establish them and they last a lifetime.
Hi everybody, Scott Kelby here. So I did this online class called Just One Flash, and it was based on, I was running into so many photographers who said, yeah, I bought a flash and I'm just not getting the results I wanted to. I'm kind of disappointed with it and I'm not sure I'm going to use it. And I'm like, that's heartbreaking because just one flash can be amazing. And so I did this class and I started from scratch. We started on the set, we went through the gear, we went on location, we were here in the studio, did the whole thing. And it was my most popular class of the entire year. And those people said, wow, I learned a ton. I'm finally falling in love with my flash. Maybe you could do a class where you add just one more flash. So I did. It's called Just One More Flash. So this is now how to add that second flash to add more depth and dimension. We talk about lighting backgrounds, we talk about kicker lights, hair lights, all the things you can do with that second flash. And it's found only here exclusively at Kelby One.
Slowly moving. There it is. Juan's coming in close. We're answering Chris Wiley's question. What is the largest camera lens that the Ultra can handle? This is the Pro.
All right.
Look at the size of this bad boy. Let's slowly rotate it so you can really appreciate. This is what we call overkill, Larry.
But I'm gonna answer Chris's question because it was nice of him to ask it.
It was.
Okay.
It was, Chris. Thank you, Chris.
So, Chris, we're gonna answer your question. You could basically now. I really recommend the Ultra for the smaller cameras, but hang on 1 second. Got it. All right, let's pop this
Don't
off
forget to
over
speak
here.
into the microphone.
Yes, we'll talk into the mic. Here, Chris. You could put this camera, so it's basically a 24 to 70 millimeter f2.8 lens on a Nikon D800 with Nikon flash on it. And Scott doesn't like the fact I'm using Nikons. Okay, that's all right.
I don't mind that you use a Nikon. I use a Nikon for many, many years. They're fine cameras.
All righty.
It's not a Sony, it's a Nikon. Oh, no, just
Ouch,
kidding.
burn.
Just kidding.
Okay,
Oh my
right
God,
here.
Sony people go crazy. Just a joke.
Let's
Just
just
a joke.
Now you're in
Tighten
real
that
trouble.
up.
Just a joke.
Okay, but it'll work. It'll work. The Ultra can hold a lot. We rate these, the Ultra's rated to 100 pounds off axis. That means that we put a tripod head on this, we strapped it to a tree, we hung 100 pounds of rocks off of it, and nothing bent, okay? The Max is rated to 300 pounds. We hung my son-in-law. My son-in-law over this, and it didn't break or bend. In fact, this one, I think, David, if you remember, we ran over this with a car. Yeah, we ran over this one with a car. This was last year. And this is the one, Scott, that was run over with a car. A few little scratches on the bottom, no bending, no
This
breaking.
was in the space shuttle and was dropped to Earth. It was dropped to Earth.
There's
All
a heat
right.
shield on the bottom.
So,
there.
Chris, to answer your question, we got a Nikon like D800 on here. a 24-70 f2.8 lens, and looks like an SB900, and a magnet mod on the top with a mag bounce. Is that a mag bounce?
That is the Mag Sphere.
Mag Sphere, all on there, and it's like rock solid.
Would you like me to say something about MagMod?
I love MagMod.
They are the nicest company. I have to tell you, this Kickstarter program that we're doing is thanks to Photoshop World and MagMod. I met my friend Travis Williams from MagMod over at Photoshop World a year or two ago, and he started telling me, hey, guy, you ought to be pitching this on Kickstarter. It's a great way to introduce your product to the entire world. And I listened to him, and it was a big success. And it really helped us. Instead of taking a second mortgage on the house, we were able to raise money from our many friends at Kickstarter. So thank you, MagMod.
Hey, you know, I love MagMod. So I'm writing a book. I'm done writing the book. Right now, I'm just making some of the pictures I need to make to finish off the book. The book is called The Flash Book. Anyway, so there are all kinds of companies that make modifiers, and I only show 2 in the book. And they didn't sponsor the book or anything. These are the 2 I use, MagMod and Rogue. Their stuff is awesome. The MagMod stuff is just so...
Look how easy it is to use. Here, to disassemble it,
yeah,
you go like
it's
that,
magnetic,
and you want to get it back on, boom.
Back on. Yeah. But it uses like rare earth magnets, so like you can never unstick them. I mean, they're like crazy. All right, so... Oh God, John Mayfield is talking about my Sony joke. He said that joke's going to make Sony users hotter than their cameras after moderate use. That was not me.
That's well said.
That was John. All right, Bob from Oz says, I'm impressed by the Ultra. I wouldn't have thought it would hold that much stably. Let's see which C.
Stably a word? That's a good word.
Stably is a word,
All
as a
right.
matter of fact, because
like
Bob
it.
says that it's good enough for me.
He's Australian.
Bob has a question for Ian. He says, Ian, do you prefer environmental portraits, or are you all about the isolated subject?
My work... Often the studio stuff that you see is actually on location. So I'm often asked to make a studio on location. So
what are you like taking backgrounds out on location and stuff?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes I'll have to use Photoshop to remove a background. In the case of that image of Paul George that you might have seen, that was in the little yoga room on the side of the gym that we were shooting at all day. So sometimes I'll be, maybe doing reportage style, which in the case of Paul George, that's what we were doing.
I love when you use French words, Ian.
Thank you. And then, I had, maybe 4 minutes to shoot a portrait of him. So I quickly set up a light. I actually cued the drink, PlatyPod, on the ground to hold one of the ProPhoto B1s as an underlight, as a fill light, and I used my key light off a regular stand.
How you like You like the B1s?
I love the B1s.
They're nice, right?
Yeah, that's all I use now. Yeah.
If we had Eric Kuna, he's an iPhoneographer, but he's addicted to Amazon. And so the original drinking game for the show comes from when Eric's on, and he says, Amazon, we have to take a drink.
Just keep saying Amazon.
If you had Eric here and you had Larry here, we would all be plastered. We wouldn't get to the first break. Everybody would be completely hammered. We could never have, it's like Superman or Batman. Like, you never have Larry and Eric on the same show at the same time. But Ian, you're always welcome because you don't really have a drinking thing.
No.
Scott, could I take one? Could I take this one, Johnny Matt?
Absolutely.
Johnny Matt says, say it quick. How much pod would a PlatyPod pod if a PlatyPod could plod? I missed the last word.
So close.
That was so close.
So far.
John Mayfield says, I want to use a platypod to hold a platypus.
Don't get stung, though.
All right, can I just, these are the people, right? These are the people that watch this show. I just want to say that. Our people are off the chain. All right, so Marla says, I love my platypod and the different perspectives I can get. However, I did get told no for using my platypod in a church in Munich, Germany.
You win the prize. You're the first one.
Wow, that's the first time I've heard of someone getting a no. But that's in international waters.
Germans are pretty strict, though, too.
Germans are strict.
Yeah.
Hey, I do have a shout out to Harry, my neighbor. Hi, MC. Thank you very much.
Harry's here.
Hey.
All right. Hey, we only have a few minutes left, and I haven't got a chance to show Larry's images. I have not seen them yet, but I look forward to making fun of them.
So, there's a good question. Larry, can it be used with an RRSL bracket? Can it be used?
Can it be used with an
Let's see.
RRS? Hey, while you're doing that, while you're setting that up, I'm just going to mention Rob Sylvan, our good friend Rob Sylvan, who is like a Lightroom genius guy. Rob says he watched Caliber's class. He says, really cool class. I picked up some great tips. High five. Thank you for sharing that, Rob, because it's like brand new. Lyle wants to know what's the sign-in for prizes. Oh, yeah, Lyle. Now, well, Lyle's also, it's Lightroom Expert Day on the grid here. Lyle, here's the sign-in for prizes, because we're going to give away these prizes. And I just want to mention, we're going to give away, for the first time ever, the Ultra, illegal in 7 states right here. Giving this away.
And Munich, Germany.
Right, and Munich, Germany, apparently. We're also going to give away the Pro.
The Max.
I'm sorry, the Max. There it is, the Max. And the PlatyPod multi-accessory kit worth how many hundred?
Thousands.
Thousands. We're going to give away one of these.
All this compliments went up in value.
All this goes up and down. And we're also going to give away a copy of my book. Hey, look, I did something. The Best of Digital Photography book series. So I took my 5 books, volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, went through and cherry-picked the best stuff, updated it. It's in this book right here. But if you want to win any one of those, here's what you do. Go to kelby1.com/contest.
Sounds easy.
I'm waiting for it to appear on screen like it always does. There it is. And here's what's important. In the comments section, tell us what you want to win. You can just say Ultra, like we want the Ultra. If you want the new one that's like nobody has in the world.
That goes with multi.
That goes with multi. It comes with the multi kit, and the multi accessory kit comes with it. So you don't have to say both. You get it all. It's the Ultra, and it comes with the kit. And Johan says, what was it that Dr. D has made again? He's just trying to get us to drink. Johan, we're not stupid. We're not just because we're Americans. All right, he's from like the Netherlands. All right, home of IKEA. It's not really, but it's sweet. No, you know what it is though? I was in the Netherlands once, and the train went by, and it's the colors of IKEA, and I go, hey, it's the IKEA train.
That's where they
and
stole it.
Like my host is still laughing. All right, so go there to kelby1.com/contest. Tell us what you want to win. Give us your email. We'll pick a winner, and there we go. You get all that stuff. If you want to win the book, which will be like 2 people, just say the book, and you have 50-50 chance of winning because everybody wants to win. Hey, Ryan says he was one of the first 100 to order the Ultra. Can't wait to get it.
Thank you, Ryan.
Johan says, because we always read Johan's. Johan says, I always thought the PlatyPod was for sport and landscape, but today Ian proved they can also be used for portraits. I never considered that. Actually, you're using it for portraits like a boss.
I am. I do it all the time.
I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed.
It's always in the camera bag.
There you go. You know why it's always in the camera bag?
Because
it's easy. It's small.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't have room for this. Nope. Yeah. So anyway, that was going to be in my carrier like in a few days, but no. No, I might just like Photoshop it.
Who said family first? I mean, where did that come from?
Crazy. Let's see. Tanya wants to know, I need to find out where I can get one in Canada. Where can you get one in Canada?
Well, just order if they want.
Order from the United States.
Yeah,
just, if you go on Kickstarter, they ship internationally. And then once Kickstarter's over in August, it'll be available on our website at B&H Photo. They're going to have it, and they ship internationally too. And I think Adorama might also. So,
all right.
There you go.
And David says, hello, Scott. I've been a member for a long time follower. Thank you, David, and thank you for watching, and thank you for the kind words. Deb Usilka says, holy moly, that's some rain. I guess you can hear the rain through the mics. But anyway, hey, we're giving some special love to Deb today. She knows why, but special love for Deb today. And let's see. Bruce said, just pledged for the Max and the Ultra combination.
Thank you, Bruce.
Well,
Has that happened before?
never. First time ever. Oh, we're live. We're back. So the power just went out. Wow. Wow. I bet we lost the Facebook stream, huh? Wow. The power went out. Like everything went out here.
Facebook cut, but the live stream is live.
The live stream's live, but Facebook's out. Okay, well, no problem. So, hey, we get to look at Larry's. We only have a couple minutes left. We got to look at Larry's. This is Larry's. This is the top of Larry's head. What is what are we looking at here, Larry?
Well, it's an egg.
No, this is a experiment in light.
Yes.
Now, did you lit this, right?
We're talking about looking at things differently. So,
yeah.
you know, it was what I also it's kind of what I call egg yin yang. A little dark in the light, a little light in the dark.
Okay.
But how do you think that was done, Scott? Very little Photoshop.
No, it looks like it was done with a flash to one side. That would put the other side in shadow, but it's not wholly in shadow because it looks like it's picking up something from, I'm not sure, Larry.
So the background's a folded piece of gray background paper and just lit from the opposite side, and you line it up. The question is, how did we get the egg to stand up?
Oh, it's that
Where's
one day a year that an egg stands on its end.
No. Took a block of wood.
Don't you know about that?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's like one day a year.
Equinox.
Seriously, there's a day that an egg stands. No.
It's supposed to.
No,
Definitely.
I'm going to find out you guys are
I
pulling
tried
my
it and I
leg.
broke many eggs, but it's supposed to anyway.
It's no Seinfeld reference, but there definitely is a day.
Jen, do we have the egg picture?
I can't trust someone that doesn't know that the Bubble Boy's dad.
Yoo-hoo.
Truck.
Oh my God.
The egg picture.
right.
Okay, so how do we get the egg to stand up? Block of wood, cover it in black satin, and then stuck a nail through the wood, silly putty behind the egg, the nail's holding up the egg from the back. How do you like that?
Okay, so I have a question, and it
Yes.
sounds like a lot of work.
Yes.
Why?
Because I just like the graphical look. This is what I'm creating a new genre of photography called breakfast nook photography, and this is what should go in it. Maybe.
Next photo, please. So I like the next photo. See this? That makes sense to me. It's backlit. I love the simplicity of it. I like the black background. I like the colors. This makes sense to me. Can we go back to the egg? And back to the other one.
Either love it or you hate it.
I don't hate it. I just don't know what to think of it. It's not bad. It's pulled off correctly.
Jen, which was your favorite picture?
I love the egg. I really do.
Yeah,
I said either
it's
love it
graphical.
or you hate it.
It's graphical. I don't hate it. I'm ambivalent. It's an egg. It's like, but the next picture I like.
But the
I like
point of
back-
the leaf was look at things differently. Most of us would look at that leaf from the top. We went down low, shot it lit from behind with the sun, and you see the veins of the leaf going through it.
Yes.
And it's
Yes,
all
you do.
backlit. And you've got to walk around. What I teach people who are learning photography is you've got to walk around your subject, look at it this side, that side, and say, how can I make this look special?
We got to give him 2 minutes with the celebrity and see if he walks around.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because you'll have 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
All right. Now this looks really good. I like this. This is beautifully done.
So this is to show how you can light glass differently.
Hey,
And
glass is a pain in the butt to light.
All right. So I'm going to recommend a book. And actually, you're mentioned in the book. The book is called Science, Light, and Technology. I think Jen has a copy of this
I've got
book.
a copy of that book.
Okay, Phil Hunter,
I
the
bought
late
that
Phil
book.
Hunter, he passed away last year. But you are mentioned in the introduction to the 5th edition as if you want to learn digital photography, pick up Scott Kelby's digital photography series.
I had no idea.
You were shouted out.
I have
in
that
there.
book. I
Yes.
apparently skipped the intro.
5th edition.
Wow, this is
But
very
it's
nice.
great. It's a great book for learning how to light different materials, the principles of lighting. And what I learned in that book is that if you have a bottle or a glass, you can make the glass come out with black edges or white edges, depending on how you light it, and a little bit of trickery using some cinefoil. I don't know if your viewers know what cinefoil is.
They better.
All right, cinefoil.
We have
It's
cinefoil.
basically aluminum foil that has a black.
Expensive.
Yeah, like you know what, you buy one roll, you got it for a lifetime. It's black matte coated from both sides, but if you put the cinefoil off to the sides, away out of the shot on the picture, you've got black edges, such as you see in the center picture. If you put the cinefoil behind the glass and leave it open at the sides and backlight the subject, you'll get white edges like you see in the left-hand photo.
Larry, that is more than I ever wanted to know about cinefoil. Can we go back to the egg real quick? I just realized something. I know why Jen likes the shot.
Ooh.
So-
I know why Jen likes the shot.
Oh my god.
Because it can go in both categories, dark and light.
No. Ian, you know why she likes it?
I just met Jen. How am I supposed to know?
So I'll tell you, Jen is a very good photographer, but her specialty is boudoir. And she looks at that and she thinks
Oh,
it's
it's sexual. Yeah, I say it. It always comes back to that.
Egg breast.
Yes.
Right?
A
She just
nipple,
said it.
a nippleless
Yes,
breast.
Exactly. That's not what you said. I
Scott,
took that.
Juan is blushing.
Juan is blushing.
Juan is blushing.
I took that as. Wait a minute. Did you take that?
Yes, I took that.
Damn, Larry, that's really good.
Thank you, Scott.
That is so crisp.
That's a big compliment.
Is that
for
a
you.
Les Paul?
That is not a Les
A PRS?
Paul. No, it's the cheapy brand from
It's a
Sam
POS.
Ash. That's a Carlo Robelli, but it's a beautiful guitar.
at
It's
the
my son's
finish.
guitar.
That's beautiful.
It took me about 2 hours to play around with the lights because the problem is if you don't light that right-hand lower edge properly, it goes black. You can't see it.
You're absolutely right. That is beautifully done.
Thank
That
you.
makes up for the egg. All right, we got one more of Larry's. Oh, now I like that.
Do you know what it is?
Is it a breast?
No, Scott. Do you know what it is?
What it is?
Have you been to the Baltimore Inner Harbor?
Yes, I have, Larry.
That is the Baltimore World Trade Center building. One corner of the 4 corners of the building. Each corner is a channel. You look straight up, there's a skylight at the top, and it looks like some kind of a skate park.
I think Juan likes that shot.
Again, illustrating, look at things differently. Try to say, how can I make this look different?
Well, I'm getting news from the control room that it's time to wrap up. In fact, it was time to wrap up, Larry, 4 minutes and 39 seconds ago.
Yes,
but we
had
had to hear about
blackouts.
cinefoil to freaking death.
And eggs.
And eggs. So now we're over, Larry, by 4 minutes and 49 seconds. Luby Bridget has now got a hashtag.
Egg breast.
Hashtag egg breast.
That's going viral. That's going viral.
Definitely. Trending on Twitter, egg breast.
Next
You're
drinking.
never gonna look at that photo again.
Oh my goodness.
Next drinking game,
coming
egg breast.
down.
Next drinking game, hashtag egg breast. You know what? Somebody wrote something up here that was so. Scroll up to the top here, and this really, we're going to leave it the show on this. Bob from Oz says, "You don't have to be crazy to watch the grid,
But it helps."
And Matt the Wombat Charniski says the PlatyPod also works great for photographing small dogs. I swear, Larry, you had to set this up. Look, Clinton Ferrara, my PlatyPod lives with my macro lens. All right, Bob has one last question, and we got to go. What do you think of the theory that different angles in portraits give different levels of importance or power? So, Ian, you know, you've seen. Who's the photographer that Platon?
Yep.
Who shot like Bill Clinton and tried to, you know, that shooting down low. They shoot sports, and you shoot a lot of athletes.
Sure.
That low perspective does make people look bigger.
Of course, it's the
hero
heroic
view, yeah.
angle.
It's the hero look. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Whenever an editor says to me, "We want to make them look heroic," what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to get down low, right?
Absolutely.
Although I will tell you, when I got down low to shoot John Travolta, he gave me this.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
So I didn't shoot low.
Did he dance at all?
No.
How many minutes were you given to shoot?
Exactly 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Exactly 4 minutes.
How'd you do?
He said, "You have 4 minutes."
How'd you do?
The picture's in my book, right?
All right. Ian, so good to have
Thank
you
you.
here. Hey, where can we go see? Where can our viewers go see more about your book?
My
your
photography, www.ianspanier.com.
Spanier.
That's correct. And if you want to look at the Huffington Post stuff, it's just www.huffingtonpost.com/Ian-Spanier.
Very easy. Larry, where can people go get them?
PlatyPod.com, PlatyPod.com, and on Kickstarter till June 25th at midnight.
I can't believe how much you know about the PlatyPod. I'm impressed for a guy who barely uses it or has anything to do with it whatsoever. Wow. All right. Well, Larry, thank you for being
Thank you, Scott, for
a lot of
having
fun
us
to
here.
have you guys. Thank you for all of your support of the show all this time.
We had a blast.
And you have a wonderful product, and like they said, you know, it's wonderful to see anybody who's so passionate about creating something useful and great and making it better and better.
And let me just say, I'm so thankful for your inspiration. I've been an NAPP member, then a Kelby One member since about 2001. I still have a 5-digit number. And so thank you for all that you've taught me about photography and about Photoshop and the inspiration that you've given to all of us. I think you deserve a big round of applause. Thank you.
Carl says these guys must come again. Agreed.
We'd love to.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our sponsors, and we'll catch you guys next week right here on The Grid. Take care, everybody. 7 minutes.